This video was made possible with the help of Game Toppers. Upgrade your gaming experience with a Game Topper.
Well, hello chaps and chapettes. I bet you're wondering, what can I stuff in last minute in someone's stocking just before Christmas that they will love and we could probably play on Christmas Day? Well, you know what? In this video, I'm going to be showing you a board game that everybody should be picking up last minute to stuff into a stocking for a friend that they can play on Christmas Day. That game is Sea Salt and Paper. So in Sea Salt and Paper, players are going to be taking this deck of cards and they are going to be building a hand from scratch. And then eventually the round will come to an end and everyone will score points. And this will happen around about 3 to 6 times. And once a certain score level has passed, the game comes to an end. And whoever's got the highest score wins. So how do you play? Very simple. You'll start the game with the deck of cards in the middle of the table, and then you'll draw 2 top cards and these will form 2 discard piles. On a player's turn, they can do one of 2 actions. They can draw the top 2 cards from the draw deck, look at them in secret, choose one, and then place the other card into one of the 2 discard piles. And then it's the next player's turn. But if they don't wish to do that and they actually like one of the top 2 cards from the discard pile, they can actually take one of the cards from the discard pile. Simple as that. Oh, you want more? Maybe I should explain the cards. In this deck of cards, there are 4 types of card. And within each type of card, there are 4 types of card. Let me show you. One type of card, which I like to call the collections, are these 4 collections. And the more you have of a certain collection, the more points it is worth. So for instance, this seafood shellfish is 0 points on its own. But if you add a second one, it's worth 2 points. And obviously the more you have, the more points you're going to get. Whereas like the penguin here is 1 point on its own, but 5 points if you find the other 3. And each card has written on the bottom how many of the type of card there are in the deck. The second type of card are what I like to call the pairs. On their own, these cards do nothing, but they need a pair. Once you have a pair in your hand, you can play it on your turn and it will give you 1 point at the end of the game. So 2 boats, 1 point. But they give you also a power. For the boats, you get to replay, so you can either draw 2 cards from the draw pile or take a card from the discard pile from the top. If you have 2 fish again give you 1 point and you get to take the top card from the draw pile. If you have 2 crabs, again 1 point, but you get this turn to take a whole discard pile of your choice and then root through it and take the card that you wish. And then finally we have the odd couple, which is the shark and a swimmer. Yes, these 2 together are a pair. Play this again in front of you, you will score 1 point at the end of the game and you get to steal a card from another player. The third type of card I like to call the special cards, because there's only one of these in the deck each, and these will give you points depending on how many other cards you have of the same type. So this card will give you 3 points per sailor, this one will give you 1 point per boat, this one will give you 2 points per penguin, He's a flipping penguin. And this one will give you 1 point per fish. And last but not least is the fourth type, which are the mermaids. Now, if you have a mermaid in your hand at the end of the game, they will score you for your strongest color. So having one mermaid here will give this hand of cards 3 points because I have 3 yellow cards. Whereas if I had 2 mermaids, I would score for my first and second strongest type of card. So in this case, I'd score the 3 points for the yellow and the 2 points for the cyan, blue, whatever you want to call it. But also, there is a possibility that you have all 4 of the mermaids in your hand. If you have all 4 mermaids in your hand, you can finish the game entirely. So there's no scoring, you just say you win. So as you can see, you're building a hand of cards from nothing and you're trying to get points. But how does a round of this game end? Well, it can end of one of 3 ways. Number 1, if the last card from the draw pile is taken, that's it. Game ends, everybody scores 0 points. You restart the next round. The other 2 ways are called by the players. Now, you'll be counting how many points you have in your hand, and if you've played any pairs in front of you, how many points you have in front of you. Again, if you've got mermaids, you'll be looking at your colors, your set collecting colors. And once you have 7 or more points, that's when you can end the game. Now, you can do this one of 2 ways. The first way is to just say stop, and that's it. The round is over, everybody reveals their cards, tallies their points, and you move on to the next round. The second way is a little bit more interesting. This is where you kind of push your luck and gamble that you have the most points at the table. This is called last chance. Now you call last chance and you finish your turn. You reveal your cards, you count your points, and you go, there you go, that's my total. Can you beat it? And then everybody else will have one more turn and do exactly the same. Now, if you win this bet and have the highest score, or you'll joint with someone else, you get to score all of your cards as is. Plus you get a little bonus. You'll get to score for your strongest color with or without a mermaid on top. And then everybody else will just get to score for their strongest color, even if they have a mermaid and even if they don't have a mermaid. Now, the reverse is said if you actually lose and someone else has a higher score than you. If someone else has a higher score than you, then all the other players will score as normal and you will just score for your strongest color with or without a mermaid. And then another round will start, and when one player does go past the total limit for the number of players there, so I think it's 35 points for a 4-player game, and then obviously more points for less players, the game will actually come to an end, and you'll see who actually does have the highest score, and they will be crowned the winner, unless, as I said, someone manages to pull out 4 mermaids. So my feelings about this game is I really like it because it reminds me of traditional kind of family card games that we used to play as kids with the family. You know, it would be a case of Christmas, go to the grandparents, and they used to play a trumps game. So they'd get a deck of cards, and then a suit would be different each time, which is the trump suit. And you guess how many trump tricks you're going to win, and then you just tally up your score as the game goes on. We used to love playing that, and this has that kind of air to it. It also has this air of Uno, but I'll skip past that. Yes, there is the luck of the draw in this game, and again, that kind of comes through at the beginning when you start with nothing, but after you've taken your second or your third card, you'll start to strategize and start going, okay, right, that card's interesting for me from on the top of the discard pile, I'll take that. Thing is, with that, is people know what you're after. You know, you're taking a penguin from a discard pile which people can see. They go, okay, they've got a penguin collection. And if they've got a penguin in their hand, they're gonna try to either thwart you or they will try and maybe even give up on penguins and collecting more, and then maybe just concentrate on something else with that penguin, maybe the color So yeah, a game with a lot of randomness to it. There is a lot of strategy, knowing when to call the end of the game and what to call. Do you just call a stop or do you call a last chance? And again, there's that push your luck factor, you know, about the deck. If that last card is taken, whatever you've built up is going to be totally useless because everyone's going to score 0. And so that could be a good sabotage mechanism that someone might employ just to win. But that it's a timer as well, which is another nice thing about the game. So the rounds don't go on too long. One of the problems that I've run into while explaining the game is scoring. Some people have a bit of trouble counting out their hand and scoring how many points they got and knowing when they've got 7 points. But this kind of passes after they've had a few rounds and it's been explained to them. So after a while, everyone's got the game and you're just playing. You're just drawing cards and hoping for the best, or maybe planning ahead and looking at the colors maybe. Maybe if you've drawn a lot of rubbish and you've got a bit of everything and there's nothing that you want to take, then maybe go for your colors, because at the worst case scenario, someone might call last chance and at least you'll score for a nice big set collection of the same color. And talking about the colors are for those who are colorblind. They have these icons, so even a colorblind person can play. So yeah, there's not just going for the icons, there is also going for the colors. There's not only going for the set collection, there is going for the other things. Maybe just the powers is one way to, you know, get a lot of points, is just to go, okay, I've got a lot of cards in my hand. I've got 2 crabs, I'm going to do that. Oh, I've just picked up another crab. Oh, I've got another 2 crabs, bam. Oh, I've just got a shark and a swimmer. You know, and having these chained combos on your turn are quite fun. But the thing is, you're putting out a lot of points on the table and everyone can see how many points you've got. And so they might try to hurry up their hand and call an end to the round before you get too many points. So there's this hidden information and there's this visible information. Again, when someone draws 2 cards from the deck and they happen to draw 2 mermaids, and so obviously they have to discard one, they can't keep them both, and then you go, so your other card is a mermaid. Now again, you could be bluffing, but it's very rare because these are powerful. They give you a lot of points for what they do. So as you can see, I kind of love this game. I kind of wish that it could go up to more players, and I'm wondering what 2 decks of the game would do with, say, 6 players and how that would work, and maybe if we needed like a third, a discard pile. But yeah, I like playing this game. I think it's slightly better with 3 players because it doesn't feel so tight. 4 players, it feels very tight and crunchy as cards are being zipped up, and you know, you see a card on the discard pile and you want it, but you're gonna have to wait another 3 turns before you can draw it. Whereas in a 2-player game, you know, you have that ability to discard a card and then on your next turn pick that card back up. Yeah, it's nice. Lots of possibilities, lots of fun in this small box. I definitely recommend it if you love card games, if you love playing really quick kind of games. This plays very, very quick. We can knock out a game in about 20 minutes and then we play again. That is sea salt and paper. Well done, you've got to the end of this video. So thank you very much for watching. And hopefully this video has pointed you in the direction whether sea salt and paper is a game for you or not. Or maybe it's for someone's stocking. But anyway, if you feel the need to like and share, then do so if you think it will benefit a friend of yours. Don't feel obliged. And I'll finish off by saying I hope that you all have a Merry Christmas and a great New Year. And whatever you do, please, please, please play nicely with each other. Back the eyelids.
Just sitting at the table next to